See that?
Can you hear me? You have to come quick. He's here.
Who's here? Who is this?
It's Daria. From the crime scene. Do you remember? I'm at home. The apartment across from yours. Please, hurry. I need you one thing.
Are you still there? Daria!
Státní policie má příkaz zatknout každého, kdo poruší zákaz vycházení. Nevycházejte prosím na ulici.
This is just going to cause people to panic.
Daz is a man. He'll set you up.
My Interpol friend, it's dangerous for you to be out in the street tonight. What are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
The killer is still out there. More victims have turned up. All of them Augs, all harvested. Just like Angela Gunn.
So it's the same person doing all this. We still have no idea who that is.
I'm not sure where all this is going, but I've been looking at old case notes, and it's uncanny. Marek Svobotka, the old harvester, is supposed to be dead, yet this killer seems to... Little habits that were never made public. I even called the cemetery just to make sure Svobodka's still dead.
And?
He's dead.
That doesn't explain what you're doing here.
It's still my case, isn't it? And it's still open. I was hoping that maybe Daria suddenly remembered something. And what about you? You know very well that your Interpol ID doesn't mean shit tonight. Hell, I should be arresting you right now.
Daria called me. She said she was in trouble. She said he was here. Then she got cut off. Is she in there?
I wouldn't know. I knocked and no one answered. I've been worried about her. So she called you, huh?
And now she feels about cops.
Right. Look, you're not supposed to be outside tonight. I'll take a look around the building. You see if you can find a way inside. Hopefully we're not too late. Just try not to get caught, eh?
I won't.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
confinement, static watches. It's about time.
And now for a close look at events making headlines around the world. The impact of the instructions from the Army of the Czech Republic have imposed a state of martial law throughout their city. The riot has been labeled the worst, that a repeat of the Og incident may be at hand.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Kvůli vlastní bezpečnosti nevycházejte ven. Hrozí zatčení.
Let's drop this.
Declared by Czech authorities as an excuse to...
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Understood.
What are you doing here? It's after curfew. It's dangerous.
Serial killers are dangerous. Curfews are just inconvenient.
I beg your pardon?
Daria Mishka. Ring a bell?
I'm sorry, but I'm not at liberty to divulge anyone's personal information.
We both know why I'm here. We can take the scenic route if you want, but if something happens to her because you felt the need to bullshit me...
Just tell the lawyers I'm doing the best I can here. If they were going to send someone, they should have told me. We could have coordinated.
The lawyers, huh? You really need to start filling in the blanks. What was your involvement with Daria? Why did you need her to meet you here?
I used to know Daria. She was a patient of mine.
Your patient? You mean here at the drugstore?
No, of course not. Before that, when I used to work for Taeyong Medical, big tech corporation. You know it?
Enough to know I don't like where this is going.
I headed a project, the cutting edge of neural science and cellular memory replacement. We dealt with people suffering from severe social disorders. We were making people better by making them better people.
A company like Taeyong running experiments to make better people. What could possibly go wrong?
I'll tell you what went wrong. The incident happened. Your kind lost sympathy with the world, and my kind lost funding for their projects. The whole thing was shut down, and it became very difficult to adequately follow up with patients.
Patients like Daria. What happened? What the hell did you do to her?
We were trying to help people. Imagine what it would mean if we succeeded. Anxiety, gone. Apathy, gone. Depression, gone.
Diversity gone, spontaneity gone, individuality gone. But you probably left that part out of your sales pitch.
Daria is responsible for what Daria does. The only reason Taeyong forced me to get involved is because so much is at stake for them. Big brand name to protect. I've met their lawyers, men whose briefcases are filled with broken teeth. You must understand.
I guess I'll just forward that email you wrote to her to the police. Maybe straight to the media. We'll let them make sense of your involvement in all this.
You sure you don't work for Taeyong Medical? That's exactly what they said. That I would be made the center of a show trial if it came to light.
If what came to light?
My job was to address people's deficiencies by integrating donor personality packages. That meant we needed lots of confident volunteers to donate time to our project. As you can imagine, people weren't exactly lining up to have a scrape inside their heads. So Taeyong had to diversify.
Once again, not sure I like where this is going.
Taeyong Medical cut a deal with various penitentiaries. Prisoners who took part in our programs, they got granted little perks, bigger cells, running water. The prisons, they benefited from facility upgrades. It was a win-win.
You implanted the personality traits of prisoners into the mentally unstable? Smart. Let me take a wild guess. Daria's donor was Marek Svobotka, better known as the Harvester.
Donor number 698843. All I saw, all I was given was a series of test scores that showed a perfect match. Everything she was missing, he had. Nothing else mattered at the time.
An innocent woman's been turned into a vicious killer, in large part because of a procedure you carried out. I'd say that matters.
Daria wasn't turned into anything. She willingly participated in a procedure. Now she is willingly killing people. You may choose to see a causal relationship between those two things, but let me assure you, it's more complicated.
Save it for the lawyers. What I need to know is how to stop her.
All right. Look. We obviously want the same thing here. Daria has a neural chip installed just above the hairline. She won't let you get anywhere near it. So if you're serious about putting an end to this, you'll have to, you know.
What, kill her?
That would be my preference, yes. Or I suppose you could just incapacitate her, but then you run the risk of having her wake up. Not a risk I would take personally.
I know there's a keyword that can shut down the chip. I read about it in your notes. Why would you try to keep that from me?
Because I knew you would overestimate what it could do. You're a fool if you think you can just walk up to a killer and say a magic word. It won't undo what she's become. The decision to act on Svobodka's memories, to repeat them, that was all Daria. Simply shutting down the chip at this point will not be sufficient.
That's for me to decide. What's the override phrase?
Ad hominem 2026. But I warn you, do not turn your back on her. And do not underestimate her responsibility in all of this. We all have terrible nightmares. We all have visions of sick and terrible things we could do. But we don't all act on them. You must be careful around her.
We should have taken care of this problem long ago.
You got the captain running you raw as well?
Fine.
I almost wish something would happen.
No telling. What kind of freaks are coming out of there?
Still this far, we are in serious trouble.
Can't tell who might be out here.
Oh, thank God. I knew you'd find me. We must hurry before he comes back.
Before who comes back? The man who killed Angela Gunn?
Yes. He knows you're after him. He wanted you to come.
So where is he?
He's everywhere. Can you not feel his presence? Are you not scared?
Why did he bring you here? What does he want?
He's using me to get to you. He thinks that by removing your augmentations, he can make you whole again. Quickly, come closer. Help me to get out, and then deal with him. Please, I beg you.
You can drop the act, Daria. I know what's going on here. I know there's no one else out there. I ran into an old friend of yours. The name Cipra mean anything to you?
You mean Dr. Cipra? Where did you dig him up?
He's worried about you.
He's worried about himself. He's worried about Tai Yong Medical. They're willing to kill to cover things up, to preserve their precious image. Their reasons are savage compared to mine.
I don't believe this is who you are. Something changed in you after Cipra's surgery, made you do things you would never have done otherwise, for reasons that aren't your own. But it's not too late.
Don't be so naive. I am who I've always been. Cipra's surgery, all it did was give me access to another man's technique, his courage to follow through.
I can still help you. Ad hominem 2026.
What did you do? Is that how machines pray?
Listen to me. The neural chip that Dr. Cipra installed in you is in the process of shutting down. Try to focus. This version of you that's been hurting people, I don't believe that was really you.
Then you don't know me very well. Why? Why should this change anything? The procedure gave me access to memory banks that weren't my own. The choice to draw on those memories was mine alone. You can't take them from me.
The shutdown process may take some time. There may be lingering effects, but that doesn't mean it's too late to help you.
You really believe that, don't you? All right. Prove it. Approach me. Come closer. Save me from all those horrible things Dr. Cipra did. There's nothing to be scared of, right? Surely whatever trace of the harvester was inside me is gone now that you've said the magic words.
You obviously need more help than I can offer, but that doesn't mean it's not out there. Whatever power the neural chip had over you should be diminishing now. You should be able to fight whatever urges Svobodka's memories inspired in you.
I don't need help. You do. You need to be saved. All Ogs need to be saved. Svobodka inspired me to... I can make you human again. I have to make you human again to atone for what I am.
This notion you got that augmented people need saving, that there's something less than human. Look, I didn't know her, but I guarantee you Angela Gunn was a human being. Her humanity was defined by her ideas, her passions, the causes she believed in. It had nothing to do with whether or not she was augmented.
Svobodka never saw them as individuals. To him, they were victims of an age that terrified him. Mirror images of the monster he had become. He believed the entire race was under attack, that mechanization would keep our souls from migrating.
How does that sound like to you when you say it? Migration of the soul, victims of an age? I'm not talking abstract concepts here. I'm talking about people. Svobodka never saw his victims as human beings because it would have made it impossible to do what he did. He was sick, he was scared. Whatever he was no savior.
You're right. The more he killed, the easier it became. That is why he had to repeat the actions, ritualize them. It was a way of justifying his beliefs. If you kill one man, the memory is like an anvil. If you kill 7, you quickly forget the first. It all starts to seem inevitable. Surely it must be obvious to you by now. The Daria you came here to save no longer exists. She hasn't for a long time. All that remains now is his drive, his legacy, his cause.
Svobodka didn't have a cause. He was a serial killer, acting out on impulses that he tried to couch in spiritual rhetoric. A way of convincing himself that his actions were justified, but they weren't. No amount of faith or abstraction makes it okay to dehumanize people the way he did.
No. No, it doesn't. But so what if you're right? So what that Svobodka's motivations cannot stand up to scrutiny? His actions, my actions, cannot be justified. Where does that leave me? If those others did not deserve to die, then I deserve to die.
It's not for me to judge you. I want smarter people than me to look into this neural procedure you underwent. Dig into Cipra and Tai Young.
So you're offering me a fair trial?
I'm not offering anything. But if there's any hope of moving on here, not killing anyone else is a good start. Society has every right to judge you, and it also has a right to hear all about Cipra and Tai Young Medical. I'm not an expert on extenuating circumstances, but I'd say you have an interesting case.
You were right before, about the override process taking time. I can feel him receding. Memories of memories no longer crashing against me like they did. Let me prove it to you. Come closer. I want at least one person to know that I'm no longer what I was.
All right, Daria, we need to get you out of here for real now. This needs to end.
The version of me who did those things to Angela, I cannot even imagine it being me, even though I know it was. Whatever happens now, whatever the authorities decide, I hope you believe me.
What's going on here? What the hell am I interrupting?
Detective Montag.
Daria's got a story to tell you. How you react may have something to do with your thoughts on experimental neural therapies and big medical conglomerates.
I don't understand. Where is the harvester?
I want to turn myself in.
One of you really needs to start explaining.
I want to confess to the killings of Angela Gunn, Misha Voracek, Pavel Klima, and Leonie Wolf. I also need to tell you about the neural procedure I underwent. It involves Tai Young Medical and a man named Dr. Nicholas Cipra. I hope you'll listen.
You can handle this from here. Just listen carefully to what she has to say.
All right, Daria. I think you should start at the beginning.
2 years ago, I signed up for a program sponsored by Tai Young Medical. They said they could help people to become better versions of themselves. It all feels so long ago now. Another lifetime.
I suggest you remember everything you possibly can about this procedure you underwent. Who was involved, when it happened.
I'm not that person anymore. I swear to you.
Take your time. For now, nothing's going to happen until I get the full story.
Turning myself in is for the best. I know that now.
Access granted.
joined the police.
As if the
Can you
violence
believe
could
it?
spread all the way into the city.
No one.
Are you feeling all right?
Adam, good. We need to talk, son.
What's going on, Seraph? Why the secure vidcall number?
I looked into Facility 451. It was a processing clinic, one of dozens set up after the incident to help augmented people recover. It was supposed to be places to heal, but they were run more like prison camps.
And?
And I don't think you got your new augs there. You said rescue teams dumped you in that clinic shortly after Panchaea collapsed, but your name doesn't appear on its entry logs. And it doesn't appear on any survivor recovery lists either.
They said I was a John Doe. Nobody knew who I was.
It wouldn't have been hard to find out. Your augmentations have serial numbers. Or at least the ones I had installed into Adam Jensen did.
Are you suggesting all my augs are new? Even the ones you gave me?
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm telling you, all the augs we ever installed had registry codes, and they're not hard to trace.
I know my augs, Seraph. It took 2 years for my body to get used to them, to unlock all their potential.
2 years? Really, Adam? One of which you don't remember because you were allegedly in a coma in Alaska. Look, son, all I'm saying is it wouldn't have been hard to identify you, but for some reason, that never happened.
Why are you so sure I didn't get these augs in Alaska? Orloff was there. I spoke with him.
He said he was using an alias, McFadden. I looked into it. Casper McFadden didn't exist until the day you regained consciousness, which was 1 month before you escaped the facility.
Okay, so where was Orloff?
Not in Alaska. He was with Tai Young Medical for a while, and in the spring of 2028, his name pops up once or twice in the Baltic region. Then he dropped off the grid, and McFadden shows up.
So what does that prove? Orloff is McFadden and McFadden is Orloff. None of it connects him to me.
Except for the augs which Orloff designed and nobody else knows how to install, let alone make compatible with a competing system.
What are you trying to tell me, Seraph?
I'm sorry, Adam. There's not much more I can say. There's some conclusions you have to make for yourself. All I know is the deeper I dig, the more questions I have. Orloff might have had answers, but as soon as you found out he was in Prague, that he'd been visiting Prague periodically ever since you started working with TF-29's division there, somebody killed him. You tell me what it all means.
I can't. Not yet.
Well, if you ever do find out, give me a call. Until then, take care of yourself, Adam. Be careful.
Thanks for the help, Seraph.
I will try to find you a little something. I promise.
Vyhlášen zákaz vycházení. Je zakázáno zdržovat se na ulicích. Opakuji, zákaz vycházení na ulici. Jedná se o dočasný. Dodržujte prosím zákaz vycházení.
I see anyone, especially in Og, not taking the chance.
You shouldn't be outside tonight, Adam. Prague is no longer safe.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm looking at a police barricade right now.
They will not let you pass. But I can help with that. I suggest you take cover.
Eliza, what do you have in mind?
Now is your chance to get past them. Be careful, Adam. I do not want to lose you again.
Jensen, you still alive out there?
Yeah, just made it to the red light district. They love that search warrant.
State police aren't even taking my calls. I'm afraid you're on your own this time.
Story of my life. But I got it, don't worry. Miller, it's Jensen. We're about to enter Nepali territory. Any chance these guys are respecting the curfew?
On their own turf, they're more likely to be enforcing, so stay sharp.
Yeah, kind of what I figured.
Jensen, you said Manchenko needed to finalize a deal, right?
With the Diwali, yeah. Not a lot to go on, I know.
Maybe not. But these guys are the best smugglers in the world, which means a lot of forged paper. You might find some in Kingpin's office.
Assuming I can find that.
Over there.
Shit.
Anomaly detected. Access granted.
Many citizens are now demanding that the United Nations Security Council expedite their decision on Resolution 3507, the Human Restoration Act. If passed, it will mandate the worldwide removal of
So I force like again. Saying no to the boss is suicide. Hey, are you paying attention? Listen to me. No. I'm going to kill them! Now what? So it was nothing? Yeah, we're done here. The area is clear. Know your place. Cannot believe I lost that pool game. What the hell? Well, that could have gone better.
Indeed. None of us are likely to forget the last time augmented people allowed their emotions to get the best of them.
Hard to know.
So
Who
are
was
you
loyal
in
to
support
who.
then of United Nations Resolution 3507? Do you believe the controversial Human Restoration Act should pass?
Nothing to report. Good. We should take down these old posters.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
They will pay triple what we agreed. That is good for business.
But at what cost?
This is not a fucking discussion!
We can still limit the damage. We do not know what these people have planned for London. It could be...
I decide how the Valley do business, not you.
But it's Orchid. You want to deliver to the Safe Harbor Convention before it even begins.
Do you have shit in your ears as well as between them? Get the fuck out of my office! Now!
Miller, Marchenko is targeting the Safe Harbor Convention in London.
Jesus, there'll be hundreds of people there.
How fast can we move on this?
I'll warn London and get Mac working on a mobilization plan for them. You go home. We'll contact you there.
Alex, they are hitting London. The Diwali agreed to smuggle weapons and the Orchid into Apex Center.
Fuck, man, they want to take out Brown. He's their real target. I've been digging into him.
Get to my apartment. Explain it to me there.
They need a fucking vacation.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Je zakázáno zdržovat se na ulicích. Opakuji, zákaz. Vycházení na ulici. Jedná se o dočasné pořádkové opatření. Dodržujte prosím zákaz vycházení.
Sense closing down the whole city.
I'm sure supplies will arrive soon.
Got it wrong, Adam. Brown's financial prospects aren't as rosy as we thought. He stands to lose trillions if the Human Restoration Act passes.
That doesn't make any sense. Millions of displaced Augs will flock to Rabia.
And the city can't support them. Brown's been selling investors a pumped-up dream. The corporate city-state where like-minded individuals govern themselves while investors reap the profits.
Kinda goes against the idea of a one-world government.
Yeah, and if it fails, so does Brown, the Santo Group, and anyone else standing in the Illuminati's way.
So they want to kill a competing dream and get rid of their augmented problem in one fell swoop. I take it Brown's been campaigning against the act?
And unlike Rucker, he's got the money and influence to stop it.
What about the orchid sample I gave you? Marchenko's smuggling more of it into London. Were you able to analyze it?
Believe it or not, it's not a bioweapon, or at least it's not meant to be one. It's a genome editing drug. It targets the gene linked to AUG rejection and deletes it.
AUG rejection? Must be why I survived. I don't suffer from rejection syndrome.
What? Are you telling me you don't need neuropozyne? Shit, man, that makes you...
1 in a million, I know. The orchid, Alex. You said it's not meant to be a bioweapon.
Right. The files you and Janus got from the vault, they suggest Reed's team isn't finished making the orchid yet. It's supposed to replace the deleted gene with an artificial one that accepts augmentations. But until they do, it's deadly. Darknet posted pictures of Rucker's corpse. If Brown and all his elegant fancy potential investors get dosed, and Picus News broadcasts images of them, it's gonna send a message.
I'd better warn Miller. You can stay here if you want, till the curfew's lifted.
I can take care of myself. But when the task force hits London, keep me in the loop. Not sure what I can do, but good luck, Adam. And be safe.
Miller, it's Jensen. Is McCready still working on that plan for London? Because there's another variable to consider.
You can brief him yourself at TF-29's airfield. We're mobilizing.
Copy that. How do I get there?
Damn curfew's still in effect. So if you can get to Chicane's place, he'll fly you to it. Miller out.
Maybe I should call my brother later. I see anyone, especially in AUG, taking any chances.
Miller's not here yet?
He's already left for the main hangars with McCready's team. We're supposed to rendezvous with them there. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.